Hey guys, it's me, Teresa Perrin. I just wanted to bring you a quick update before market close regarding ticker EVFM, and this is in BioFM, one of my favorite tickers. Sadly, the Nasdaq has issued a notice of delisting because they have not been compliant with maintaining the share price above $1 for 10 days. Now, guys, I am really upset by this because in the earnings call, the CEO specifically said that they needed to maintain a price above $1 from August 8th to August 22nd to avoid having to do a reverse split. So why wouldn't she have just done the reverse split prior to that? It's a bit concerning to me. However, even though the Nasdaq is delisting it, it will still be traded on the OTC market. And if you go to the EVFM Investor Relations website, you will see that they are considering filing for a hearing to appeal this decision. So guys, unfortunately, EVFM will not be trading under the Nasdaq any longer as of tomorrow morning. It will automatically convert your shares to the OTC. I got several messages on Twitter when I sent out this update. And guys, people were asking questions like, well, I trade on Robinhood and Webull and other, forums that don't support OTC stocks. What happens to mine? And I will always say you need to specifically check with your own, stock provider, your broker, because what one person tells you may be far different from the other person. What they tell you, it all depends on who you get on the line and how good they are at communicating and searching. I did reach out to Robinhood to personally see what's going on with them. And guys, I'm sorry, but they're just such a horrible broker. I was trying to get this question answered to people, and they're like, well, if we haven't decided yet, because we are doing more things with the OTC market, whether or not we're going to be allowing this ticker to trade. Okay, found that a bit odd. They don't know. But if you do have Robinhood and you do have these shares on Robinhood, they did assure me that you would be able to have them as position close only. So unfortunately, if you have options, guess what, guys? They are not as long. And I mean, if you had the 50-cent one, I think you probably would have had to exercise them by today, but maybe they'll auto exercise them for you. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I don't even know if there was a 50-cent option on this, but I know if you have like the dollar strike and above, they're out of the money. So unfortunately, you lose that money and there's no other alternative to it. However, if they are trading under OTC, then going forward, you will have, your shares available to at least close. If they do not trade it on Robinhood or whatever other platform, you will not be able to add to your position, but you will be able to close them from my understandings. Please double check with your broker because that specifically came from Robinhood. I know that usually Fidelity and TD Ameritrade are really good about having OTC tickers, so you shouldn't have a problem there. Guys, I think this is an amazing company with a very bright future. And this is really disappointing to me to hear this because they have the phase 3 trial that comes out in October for, using the Phexxi as a lubricant that prevents chlamydia and gonorrhea. I mean, that's huge. We need things like this because, those STDs can cause women not to be able to get pregnant, in the future. And these are things that kids don't think about when they're young and promiscuous. So, it's a heartbreaking day for me because I really like this stock. I've been invested in it for a long time in my long-term account. And I was trading it as well. And initially when I heard this news, I sold my shares. And then I said, you know what, screw this. I still love the company. They're trading on the OTC, which I did not know when I sold them, or I wouldn't have. But once I did more research and found that out, I bought them back. And I said, you know what, I don't really care what platform they're trading on. I love this company. I see a bright future. You know, they can appeal to NASDAQ later. But guys, I'm just so sick of the manipulation and the shorting that goes on in this market and how it affects good companies. This wasn't fair. They didn't deserve this, but it is what it is. I mean, there's no going back now. Not no going back as if they can't go back to the NASDAQ, because they could eventually apply to be relisted to them. However, if I were this company, I would think twice. But let me show you what came out today as far as these. Okay, guys, this morning, this is the notice that came out on Webull. It says, EVFM Biosciences on August 9th received a written notice from NASDAQ that it has determined to delist company securities from NASDAQ Capital Market. EVFM Biosciences, Inc., NASDAQ will suspend trading in company securities effective at open of business on August 11th, 2022. EVFM Biosciences, Inc. Company remains a public company and will retain ticker symbol EVFM. So it'll be traded under the same ticker, guys. You won't even know that this happened unless you heard it from me or somewhere else. EVFM Biosciences, Inc. expects shares of its common stock will commence trading on OTC Market Group platform at open of trading on August 11, 2022. EVFM Biosciences, Inc. plans to apply for trading of its shares on common stock on OTCQB market. So the OTCQB market, guys, just if you don't know, is like a higher standards OTC marketplace. So they have stricter guidelines they have to follow. So just so you know, like a lot of people are questionable about some of the OTC markets, but the OTCQB has higher standards that they have to abide by in order to maintain listing on there. So, you know, most starter companies that start on OTC, it's their goal to get to OTCQB. So I don't think that EVFM will have any problem getting onto there, because obviously they were trading on the NASDAQ. So they have a lot stricter guidelines on the NASDAQ. But I see this as potentially being, you know, long-term a better opportunity, because the company can stop stressing about the shorting and stuff that's going on within it. You know, in the stock price, and just start focusing on Phexxi and, you know, the phase 3 trial of the spermicide, you know, and guys, there is in October, they are releasing the results of that phase 3 trial in October. So that should be huge. And they've already been granted FDA fast track approval, provided the results are what they expect, which according to, you know, what I heard in the earnings call, it seems that, you know, they're very bullish on them. And this is quite spectacular because there's nothing like it. So, guys, I think there's going to be really bullish news in the future, which is, you know, why I kept my shares and why I even bought them back on my trading platform, even though I actually lost money buying them back because the stock had gone up when I decided to do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. It doesn't matter in the long run. So, I lost another, I don't want to talk about it, but whatever. I lost money buying them back. But you know what? I'm confident in the long-term future. So I see this as an opportunity. May it lose money in the short term once it goes to OTC? It could. That's always a possibility. You know, obviously it's lost a substantial bit between even, you know, the $1 range. I had originally bought this in my trading platform at 85 cents. So I wrote it all the way up and didn't cash it out because I decided I wanted to keep the majority of it long term. So, you know, again, I think it's going to be higher than that. I'm not too worried about this. Short term, it may take a hit, but come October, I think we're going to be back in business. Anyways, just wanted you to all be aware because this is very important. You know what's going on with your stocks. So thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and have a wonderful night.